Hey guys, Sam Partland from DigiSearch here with another SEO and Excel training video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create this client keyword dashboard. It's a nice and easy dashboard that you can create and send to your clients or upload to OneDrive and actually give them a link to view online. And it allows them to interact with your keyword research and pull out their own insights in terms of how users are searching for their business. So say this keyword dashboard here is for a car hire client. So say they wanted to find out keywords related to utes. Yeah, they can come over here, they can click ute, and then it will manipulate the secondary and the location-based keywords. So ute, interstate, you can see interstate ute hire, 20 searches a month. Come over here, Newcastle, ute hire Newcastle, 140 searches a month. Ute hire Brisbane, 1600. So they can pull out their own insights just by clicking on the slicer. You can then brand it up and your clients will love it for very minimal effort. So let's get started. Okay, jumping straight into the dashboard tutorial, you can see I've got a blank tab here, just called dashboard, and then this is where we're going to actually create our dashboard. And on the second tab of my spreadsheet here, you can see I've got the keyword raw data. So this is all the keywords that I've previously collected doing various keyword research methods. I've got the search volume for those keywords. And then I've got 4 levels of categories for the keywords. Now these are all generic because I've removed the branded ones for them. So we won't be using that one in this video. But you can see I've got primary, secondary, location. And then I've got the formula looking for the categories in these tables here. So we've got their primary category here on the left, secondary, and then we've got the location looking here. So we've got a variety of car hire type categories set up. And then I think this is across about 6,500 keywords. So it is a big one. And I'm just going to start creating the dashboard. So what we're going to be doing is using pivot tables. The pivot tables allow us to control the data and actually manipulate it so we can constantly change it. It's not going to be a static keyword list. So to insert the pivot tables, you should already know how to do that, but what we're doing is going up to insert, clicking pivot table. So table range is obviously the raw data, which is already selected. You go existing worksheet, come over to dashboard, and what we'll do is I'm going to click about here. And that's going to do the pivot table. And so what we want to do is create a table for each of the category levels. So we want one for primary, one for secondary, and one for location. So if I start with the primary, I'm going to drop that into rows. I'm going to drop search volume into values. Just quickly set up the pivot table, call it primary. Oops. Untick auto fit so it doesn't change when we change the data. Untick show grand totals for rows and go OK. Quickly right click, sort largest, and now I'm just going to change the search volume to match a good format. So we want number, no decimal places, use the thousands separator. Let's just change this to be volume. So now it's sorted by search volume, and we've got all the categories listed there. So what I can then do as well is if I drag keyword under primary, it's going to list all the keywords out. So what that means is on the dashboard, we can look at them just separated by car. We can separate them out by each category, so truck, etc. But first, what we want to do here is we want to go largest to smallest and actually sort it. So we've already sorted the primary category volume, but now we want to be sorting the actual keywords within there so that we open it up and it shows you the most valuable ones straight away. So I'm just going to collapse all of them. And now we have our dashboard. So say you want to find out the ute keywords for targeting, you just click the plus there and away we go. Now I'm just going to duplicate that over and I'm going to copy the format so it's the same width. Oops, let me just try that again. And I'm going to hot swap out primary and I'm going to throw in secondary. So this then allows us to filter by secondary. So I could want, say, let me just sort this quickly. I could want to look at the event-based car hire keywords. And so you can see here wedding car hire Melbourne, etc. Close that. Maybe I want to see the luxury. There's our luxury keywords. So that's our secondary one. And what I'll do is I'll just copy that again. And our third one here, exactly the same as before, but I want to change that to location. So set it up again. And now we've got primary, secondary, and location set up. So I'll just quickly change these names, location, because what we're going to be doing now is setting up some slices to actually control these, and so we can manipulate the data. So what I'll do is I'll insert and then go slicer. Now, what I want to be doing is first slicing by primary. Click OK. Now I can filter just based on the primary vehicle category. Now I might actually make this a column one. So this slicer is currently set up like in a single column, but if I go over to size and settings, I can actually make this a multi-column slicer just by ticking up on that. And there we go. We've got 5 columns, 2 rows for the primary. So if I click this, it's going to filter on the left one, which isn't going to be great. So what I actually want to do is untick that one, and I want to filter only the location and only the secondary tables. So obviously if I click four-wheel drive, it's only going to look at four-wheel drives on that. But I want to only to filter these ones. So I want to see, clicking on bus, I want to see cheap bus related keywords. Or I want to see private bus related keywords. And it's that easy now. Same with location. So say I want to hire a van. I can come over here, Melbourne. I can see all the van keywords related to Melbourne. So it's nice and quick for pulling insights out of here. Now the next category I want to filter by is just secondary. So same as before, I'm just going to go up to insert, slicer, and we'll go secondary. Now the secondary one can sit on the left. That's just a personal choice. Expand that out here. And let's hook that up to the right reports. So the right pivot table, sorry. So we obviously want this connected to the primary, but we don't want it connected to the secondary, but then we want it connected to the location. So I'm just going to tick that one on. And now say I want interstate keywords, it's going to filter the truck. And it's going to filter the location by interstate. Now let's go event. Let's comparison. No. Okay, there we go, moving. So now it's filtering just based on moving, so moving trucks or moving vans, moving truck hire, removal truck hire, etc., moving van hire, removal van, and then Melbourne, so Melbourne van hire, Melbourne, moving van hire, Melbourne, sorry. So just using that keyword data, we've now got, I guess, an interactive basic dashboard, but it's not exactly in the prettiest form at the moment, so I certainly wouldn't be delivering this to any clients with how it's set up at the moment. Now, what I like to do to kind of pretty it up a bit is add some basic designs to the slices and that, but first let's fix these pivot tables. So how I do this is I ignore this because it's got the filters, it's got that. I normally just hide that row. So we can come along here and just go hide, but that obviously leaves us open here. So I like to go primary, or rather let's do this. Bigger. So say the client was blue branded. That's how you do that. And then we'll go white for the text. So we can make that a bit bigger if we want. Not that one. Vertically align it, center it if we want. And then what we'll do, just type volume. Now we're just going to copy that format over to them both. And now you've got a basic title for each of the tables. And so as you change that, the pivot table will move, but nothing else will move. So we'll clear all of them. And now what you want to be doing is just adding some basics at the top of the dashboard, just to kind of brand it as the client. So what I'd be doing here is inserting a client logo up here. Oops. And then I'd be inserting your own logo here. Client keyword dashboard up the top, and we can make that a bit bigger too, bolder. Maybe you have your name here and your contact details so that they know who to get in touch with when they're actually looking at the report should they have any questions, if you want that there. And then maybe you want to throw in, say, our last updated Jan 2017, so that they know that they're looking at the latest one, should that be a potential issue. So this is how I'd be doing a basic dashboard for your clients. There's one other thing, is you can just go up to view here and you can turn off the grid lines if you want, and then you've got basically a white background here. And what we'll do is we'll save that as is. And so this is something you can send to your clients for them to actually have a play with and actually understand the keyword research, rather than just being a raw table with some numbers. This will actually let them visibly see what's best. They can actually pull out their own targeting insights from this. And best of all, you can actually just upload this to the web using OneDrive, which is in a separate video. And then you can actually display that to a client with a link, so they can just go online. They don't actually have to download the file. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. You can download the file below. Let me know if you've got any feedback. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks, guys.